Okay, so I'm finishing the morning here with a small green day relative to the last few days. MLGO $1,721.54. It was kind of tricky. It's curling back up a little bit here. I took all of my trades on it pre-market, and I didn't really feel like overstaying my welcome. My first trade was pretty decent. I got in right here on this. Let's see. It was actually inside this candle at 248, and it came up to a high of 260, but then dipped back down to 248. So that was a $400 winner on my first trade. And then I got back in at 252. It went up to like 265. I made another $400. I was up 800. And then I didn't think it was going to break out right here at 265, but it did. I thought it was going to for sure have resistance at 282, the pre-market high. It ended up hitting a high with this topping tail candle and then dropping back down, which I sort of thought, okay, it's probably done. And then it went up to 93, 94, and I got in right here for the breakthrough three. And that was about $1,200 of profit, or 1,100 brought me, I guess 900. I went from up 800 on the day to up about 1,700. And yeah, we topped out here at like 312. It couldn't pull away. It dropped back down. I did do a dip trade here actually at 280 and lost like 50 bucks on it. I thought it might hold what was previous resistance, and it didn't. It broke below it, and then it came back above it, and then in this 10-second candle here, it dropped from 315 all the way down to like 280, sold off, has been below VWAP, and now it's curling back up, but I just don't want to overstay my welcome. This is what I've been saying. On a day where it doesn't feel like it's coming easily, I just want to walk away and throw in the towel. So I'm grateful to have a green day, and I don't need to do anything more than this. $1,721.54 is a great day. I'm perfectly happy with that. And that was on MLGO. It was gapping up 74%, 4.9 million share float, has 45 million shares of volume, very thickly traded. And so it was kind of like SNOA yesterday, which, if you recall from yesterday's recap, I went red on SNOA by about $800, got back to green by like 300, and then finished the day down 900 on it. I overtraded it a little bit. It was choppy. It wasn't that easy. And so, I just didn't do super well on it. And I don't want to do that again today on MLGO. And also, for what it's worth, on MLGO, same with SNOA, trading with 5,000, 10,000, even 20,000 share positions, the commissions add up really quickly. So I actually have $600 in ECN fees today. So how does that happen? Well, you multiply the number of shares you trade by 0.004. So a 10,000 share position is going to add 40 bucks to buy it, another 40 to sell it. You do that 10 times, and now you're at $400, $500, $600 in commissions, $800 in commissions. It can add up very quickly. So that's the cost of using a direct access broker. But then the advantage is that you can get extremely fast order execution. You can usually get in and out pretty much at the penny that you want. And, those pennies add up with 20,000 shares. 5 cents is $1,000. So the better execution definitely adds up over time, but the commissions do too. So, anyways, I'm fine with calling it a day here and not overstaying my welcome. I know that commissions were a bigger percentage of my profit today than on a day where maybe I was trading a $18 to $20 stock with just like 1 to 2,000 shares. So it's just an issue of share size, but at the end of the day, it's also just the cost of doing business, and it's a green day. I can't complain. I'm going to shut it down, and I'm going to come back and try to finish off the week tomorrow with, hopefully one or two more green trades, and, can finish the week feeling good. This week has been smoother than last week. Last week started with a red day on Tuesday, and then I was able to recoup those losses. I can actually show you my P&L here. So, yeah, so I had that red day last Tuesday. that was the beginning of the week. I started in the red and then had to spend the rest of the week kind of recouping, and I got back to green on Friday. This week I started green, and I've made a little less on Tuesday, a little less on Wednesday, and a little less today on Thursday. So, I mean, that's just happens to be the way it is. So, had a really nice start to the week, and now with a profit cushion, I don't feel that I need to push it too hard. So this has been my month here, coming up to 49,000 in gross profit. It's not bad. I mean, it's a little low for maybe where I'd like to be, but at the end of the day, these last 5-6 days of trading contributed a lot of profit, and who knows what the next 5 or 6 days may have in store for us. Maybe it'll be slow, or maybe it'll be hot. And since you never know what's coming next, I just try to show up every single day, ready to trade the market. And if we have good opportunities, I'll step up to the plate. I'll be aggressive. And as I said a couple times recently, last year, I had 4 really solid days. And in those 4 solid days, I made about $160,000. I had a $50,000 day, a $60,000 day, and 2 days that were both like 25, 30,000. And there were a couple other $25,000 days, but I'm thinking of those 4 days. The 2 of them were back to back in the early part of the year, and 2 of them were, I think, in August. And so those 4 days contributed like $150,000 of profit. And, that made a meaningful difference in how I finished the year. And you never know when those days are going to come. They can, one day can be very, very slow, and then the next day, boom, you have a stock that's got great news, has the right combination of daily chart, float, everything else, and it just goes crazy. And just like that, it can, in a matter of just a few hours in one day, you can have a trade that has a really big impact. Now, that can happen both ways, both for better or for worse. You can have in one day a trade that could destroy your week, your month, or even your year. So you always have to be disciplined, and it's important to recharge your batteries. Right now, I'm very content to come in, 7:30 and trade until 10:30 on an average day, or even stop at 9:30. But, whatever the market's calling for. If it's hot, I'll trade longer. If it's cold, I'm going to try to ease off the throttle a little bit faster. But yeah, I'm on a nice little 6-day hot streak here, which is great. And we'll see if I can continue it into tomorrow. If not, tomorrow could be a no trade day, and that would be all right too. Anything I can do to prevent these big red days is what's important. The fewer of these I have, the easier it'll be to have a good month and a good year. So that means some days the best trade will be no trade if I feel that the risk in the trading environment is just too high for me. So that's it. That's my recap, a short recap for today. Thank you as always for tuning in. A reminder for those watching on YouTube, trading is risky. My results aren't typical, and there's no guarantee you'll find success whether you trade on your own or you learn from me. So make sure you trade cautiously in a simulator before you put real money on the line, and don't try to blindly follow me or anyone else. All right, I'll see you guys on YouTube for the recap tomorrow.